Apparently it's a go-home show with What Happened on My Universe mode. It's Smackdown live, and we were in Biloxi, Mississippi. There was a huge main event, AJ Styles against Shinsuke Nakamura, but we opened the show with the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre looking to follow up on his words from the previous week against Apollo Crews. And from the opening bell, it was pretty much proved that Apollo Crews was going to have a very bad night. First taking a big clothesline off Drew McIntyre, then a nasty pile driver. McIntyre was relentless, beating on the head of Apollo Crews before lifting him up by his head and hitting him with a sweet belly-to-belly suplex. He followed that up with a kryptonite crunch and finished it all off with the Claymore. Short work was made of Apollo Crews by Drew McIntyre, and it's a big win for the Big Scot. It's been a few weeks since someone tried to take advantage of AJ Styles' 24/7 rule on the Intercontinental title, but it's time for AJ to defend once more as Aiden English attacked him from behind in the backstage area. After ramming AJ's head into several things, Aiden English got complacent and allowed Styles to break out while he was trying to carry him down the corridor. Styles threw English into an electric box, hit him with a double axe handle off a box, but then went for a dropkick and got reversed himself. English continued to throw AJ into things before nailing a Russian leg sweep on the concrete floor. After that though, AJ managed to get a punch in, hit that dropkick finally, and an Oshigoroshi! He then sprayed him with a fire extinguisher and hit English in the head with that fire extinguisher after that, before powerbombing him powerfully onto the car park floor. AJ Styles then saw his opportunity, threw Aiden English onto a car, punched him, and then hit him with a Stars Clash on top of a car, which definitely made sure that Aiden English was staying down. AJ can live to fight another day as Intercontinental Champion, and he can go get ready for the main event. Next up, Christian, the main challenger for the world title, was taking on once again The Big Show. Christian won the match last time these two met, and Big Show might still be pissed. He hit an elbow, a side breaker, a big delayed suplex, and a gorilla press slam on Captain Charisma. But then Big Show went for a slam, but he was reversed. Christian hitting a reverse DDT, then hitting his finisher immediately, but didn't go for the pin. Instead he went for a crucifix, a cross body off the top rope, his reverse DDT, and then once again hitting the kill switch. He went for the pin. Big Show was bleeding and he was beaten. Christian victorious. However, following the match, as he celebrated, The Miz attacked him once again, this time with a kendo stick, hit him a couple of times and then pointed out his lifeless body. Apparently their match of the Royal Rumble is now Extreme Rules. In our next contest, the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, was having a match against Carmella. Would this one go long? We'll find out. It started with Ronda Rousey taking her down and hitting her with several punches to the head. And Rousey wasn't done. She hit a gut wrench powerbomb and a Hurricane Rana on Carmella, then started working on the arm. She then stopped working on the arm and hit a kid's version of a rock bottom and the Piper's Pit. There was only one thing really left to do, and that was make Carmella tap out. And trust me, I tried to do it with the armbar, but it wasn't happening, so I did it with this instead. Ronda Rousey was your winner, but as you can imagine, her current feud rival person, Becky Lynch, turned up after to ram her in the head with the title belt. Before we carried on with the action, there was a promo to be had, and Jinder Mahal was the one having it. He said that he respected Bobby Roode and he didn't want to miss out. So he called out Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode looked weird, and then when he got in the ring he was confused. He wanted to know what Jinder wanted. Jinder Mahal said, "Let's join forces and teach these punks how it's done." And Bobby Roode accepted the offer because anything can happen in the WWE. Jinder suggested they go see management to get this partnership started off right, while Bobby Roode then issued an open challenge to any tag team who thinks that they're better than them. Bobby Roode headed off and we headed into another match. More women's action now as Maryse was taking on the legit boss, Sasha Banks. However, it wasn't boss time to begin with, as Maryse hit a neck breaker followed by a back breaker. Then she threw Sasha Banks into the corner and rammed her with double knees to the back. She went for another move, but Sasha Banks got a fireman's carry instead and followed that up with a drop kick. After hitting Maryse with Meteor in the corner, Sasha Banks went for a Meteor off the top rope, but Maryse dodged and instead hit a black hole slam and a super kick. She went for another kick, but Sasha Banks caught that, hit a dragon screw and then a pop-up Meteora. And from then Sasha Banks was on the home straight. First the Hurricane Runner, then her signature neck breaker, and finished it off with an elbow drop off the top rope, which is not her finisher, it's Bayley's, isn't it? But it doesn't matter because she finished the match with it. 1, 2, 3. Maryse was down for the count, and she was also pretty down after the match as she walked off looking devastated as Sasha Banks celebrated. It was now time for the main event, and AJ Styles, the Intercontinental Champion, was fresh from having to beat Aiden English backstage, was about to take on Shinsuke Nakamura, or so he thought. Apparently Nakamura had hurt his arm and couldn't compete, so instead he allowed someone else to do double duty alongside AJ Styles. It was the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. And McIntyre started where he left off against Apollo Crews with a clothesline and a belly-to-belly, but he didn't have it all his own way, and AJ Styles reversed, hitting a dropkick and a backbreaker, followed by the Pele kick. AJ was about to go for his second Oshigoroshi of the night when Drew McIntyre wriggled out and instead put him in that position, giving him a massive knee to the gut and then a reverse whoop-ass slam. AJ managed to reverse again after that and threw Drew into the corner, hitting him with a clothesline to the back. Dolph Ziggler, who happened to be in Drew McIntyre's corner, then got on the apron and distracted AJ, which gave Drew McIntyre time to recover. He then reversed, hit a Glasgow kiss on AJ Styles and the Future Shock DDT. He went for the pin and AJ Styles was defeated. Drew McIntyre 2 wins in one night. And then Shinsuke Nakamura's music started playing. AJ prepared, but he wasn't prepared for the attack from behind from Shinsuke Nakamura. And that's it for another edition of What Happened on My Universe Mode. Royal Rumble next. Like and subscribe.